Eddie.
Good morning. Today we are gathered here for the retirement ceremony of Chief Aerographer's Mate, Surface Warfare, Nicholas A. Gaddy, United States Navy. It is now my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker, Commander Patrick Havel.
All right. I don't have to stand right here, do I?
You don't have to, sir.
Okay, so normally at these types of things I talk about the great impact that acousticians have on the command as a whole, right? Because normally it's talking about somebody putting on horn bars or a promotion or a retirement of somebody that's an ST. In this case though, I actually get to talk about everything that's awesome about the METOC community and what METOC brings to IUSS. So I'm a METOC officer, and I got the honor and privilege to be selected to come be a commanding officer for IUSS. And when I first found out about IUSS, I had no idea what it was. I got here, and I ran into Chief Gaddy, and I said, why is another METOC person here at IUSS? So he and I got to talking a lot about it and figuring out exactly what METOC brings to IUSS. And for those that have been here the last couple of years, you have seen us take operational planning from the bare bones version that we kind of used to do, and through the incredible skill and technical knowledge of this man right here and his contact throughout the fleet, we've managed to go from ground zero to several stories high. And it's a testament to Chief Gaddy. I couldn't have asked for a better METOC chief to be here when I showed up. I've served with a lot of them over the course of my career. And Chief, I know you're retiring, you're going across the street to go take observations, and I told you the other day that I'd be glad to come work for you anytime. You have definitely put forth your decades of service, and it's shown through your ability to navigate your way through the mess, your ability and your heart that goes into helping our sailors at this command, and I'm sure across the rest of the base. And from the METOC perspective, I seriously could not ask for a better person to be in that job. I look forward to Chief Wade taking over, but I'm certainly going to miss your presence in this command. And if ever you do actually need somebody to come take ops for you, like, look me up. It might be a thing.
Thanks, sir.
You know what? I'm going to stop there actually, because Chief and I have had a lot of conversations, and if I talk any more than this, then I'm just going to mumble over my words, and I want the impact to be the fact that Chief Gaddy brought METOC to IUSS, and the other sites wonder at our ability to O-plan. The Commodore and Subpat came out here, and they wonder at our ability to actually know what's going on and why it's going on, and that's because of what Chief was able to bring to the O-plan process. So with that, I'm going to stop. Chief, let's get on with your ceremony.
Aye, sir. At this time, Chief Gaddy's family is invited to the stage to receive letters of appreciation. Certificate of Appreciation from the United States Navy. To all who shall see these presents, greetings.
Greetings.
To Amy Karbowski, by the authority vested in me, it is my pleasure to express the grateful appreciation of the United States Navy for you and your unselfish, patriotic, and devoted service during your brother's military career. Your unfailing support and understanding helped immeasurably to make possible his lasting contribution to the nation. To those who say a single person cannot make a difference, I say wrong. Your brother did. He made our Navy stronger and kept our nation safe. With his service to the Navy now complete, he will be able to spend more time with you in the future. The United States Navy thank you, and I thank you. Given this 25th day of June, 2021, signed, Patrick J. Havel, Commander, Commanding Officer, NOPF Whidbey Island.
Thank you, sir.
Certificate of Appreciation from the United States Navy. To all who shall see these presents, greetings.
Greetings.
To Aaron Gaddy. By the authority vested in me, it is my pleasure to express the grateful appreciation of the United States Navy to you for your unselfish, patriotic, and devoted service during your father's military career. Your unfailing support and understanding helped immeasurably to make possible his lasting contribution to the nation. To those who say a single person cannot make a difference, I say wrong. Your father did. He made our Navy stronger and kept our nation safe. With his service to the Navy now complete, he will be able to spend more time with you in the future. The United States Navy thanks you, and I thank you. Given this 25th day of June, 2021, signed, Patrick J. Havel, Commander, Commanding Officer, NOPF Whidbey Island. You may now escort the family back to their seats. Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Gaddy will now deliver his remarks.
Thank you, Senior. Thank you, Skipper, for the opportunity to speak here today. I wouldn't have picked a better day and a better place. I wanted to do it outside with the bald eagles and the history behind this place, so I thank you, sir, for that opportunity. I'd also like to personally thank Chief Stemley. I know she's not here right now. She's out protecting our nation, but without her and Senior Chief Jones, this would not have been possible today. I just wanted to kind of go off in the sunset, but that was kind of selfish of me. I wasn't thinking about, this is really for my family, for the sailors, the people that have served with. So thank you, and please, when I see Chief Stemley again when she gets back, I will be sure to let her know. I'd also like to personally thank Senior Chief Klein and Chief Rodriguez for setting this up. The hours, I know it's been busy these last couple weeks. The extra hours that you put in to make this possible, I'm truly grateful. So thank you for that. I believe at some point, everyone in the military thinks of this day. Whether you've been in 3 years, or 23 years, or 29 or 30 years, at some point this day is going to come. And for me, honestly, there were times when I was in the military and in the Navy, I didn't think I was going to make it to this day. Serving in the military for 20 years is definitely, it's not easy. Being a Chief Petty Officer is not easy. You have to earn your anchors every single day. And if you're not doing that, if you're not training your first classes, if you're not doing the Brilliant on the Basics that CMC's been putting out, then you are failing your sailors. And I tried to live by that code every day. I wasn't always right. I made mistakes. But for some of you first classes and you first year chiefs, don't be afraid to fail. You're going to fail. Push through. Lean on the mess. Lean on your shipmates. You can ask any of the senior chiefs here right now. There isn't one of them that I don't go to every single day on something. And I certainly wouldn't have got here without all of your support, including my sailors. So thank you. I'm definitely going to miss the camaraderie of being a sailor. I loved the camaraderie. It was second to none. Being on a ship, being a sailor, doing sailor stuff. Oh man, it's like kind of all hitting me now. Yeah, that never goes away. I'm glad. I have no regrets of my decision of of being a sailor. And Amy, you can contest to this. When I joined, yeah, it's been a journey. I'm so proud of you and Aaron. I am. Sorry, my things are kind of like, I literally wrote this down like 3 different times, and now it's like scrambling together. I'm gonna miss the knowledge I gained from the wardroom. That is one of the things that I learned as probably like a 5th-year chief, is if you can get backup from the wardroom and the mess, you're gonna get double the amount of coverage. If you're not getting backup from the wardroom or training your officers that we are trained as chiefs to do, then once again, you're failing as a chief. And that's something I didn't learn probably till year 4 or 5, is getting involved with the wardroom, getting involved with, you know, the wardroom, the Kim Volks, the civilian side, the Nick Thompsons. It really just opened up my eyes. Like, oh, this is what they're talking about. Train your officers. There's more to it than that. And then lastly, I'm gonna miss being a chief. I think first class petty officers and chief petty officers are the best pay grades in the military, because no other pay grade do you get to do daily hands-on approach with sailors. There's no other job where you get to do the daily one-on-one with the sailors. And I love doing that. I love being a first class. I love being the technical go-to expert. I love being that guy the Commodore went to. Hey, where's this typhoon gonna be? Hey, why do you get this minesweeper out of here? How fast do we gotta go? First classes, don't underestimate your power as a first class. When I first came in the military, and some of the senior people here can attest to this, when I first came in the military, the first classes were running the Navy. I saw my chief at quarters, and that was it. The first classes are really what got me here today, on top of the chiefs. But the first classes, that first 4 years, were the ones that were mentoring me and disciplining me and putting a foot up my rear end when I needed it. Don't be afraid to go to your chief every day and say, hey chief, this is what we're doing and this is how we're gonna execute. Speaking of first classes, there's a couple sailors I'd like to recognize. If I could have Sailor First Class Lavallee, front and center. Chief. So, Sailor First Class Lavallee, he was my watch soup in Section 4. And he took a chief with 0 acoustic knowledge or any ability and got me all the way to a practical in what, like 80 days or something like that. It was like no school or anything. You won't find a better, humble, intelligent sailor in any Navy. I know you're gonna be on the fast track to PO, and I wanted to make sure that you got this. So that being said, when you go through a season, let me know and post. SG-1 has been my LPO the past year. I couldn't ask for a better LPO or sailor. Honestly, I felt like I didn't have to do a lot with you. I would go and see if you needed help. You were like, I got it, Chief, I got it, Chief, I got it. It's like, man, well, this is easy. I really have to attest that to Warren Metters, Senior Martinez, Senior Almeida, all the folks that helped train you and mentor you. It's from the CERTAS side. I appreciate that. I was kind of spoiled as a chief here because I felt like I got the best of the best to come work for me. But whether your name's on that list come October or November, or whether it's not, I want to make sure that you have, this anchor has been with the Gaddy family for the past 5 years. So whether you decide to be a firefighter or nurse or whatever, I want to make sure that you have this for the rest of your life. My starboard anchor. Always looking out for the right side, starboard anchor. Thank you. those first 2 years, I was kind of a junior chief. I wanted to emulate you. Between you and Brian Barrett, I was going to you guys every single day. And I wanted to make sure that you're recognized. So thank you, sir. I appreciate it. You're going to do great things. Senior Martinez and Senior Almeida, you two are, once again, mentors. I kind of call you guys like the Jedi Masters of IUSS because you've done it for so long. Yeah, not one point during any time, during any day, if I had a question or an issue, I went to you guys. And honestly, like, I couldn't have asked for better mentors with you two, so thank you. I appreciate it. I'm gonna definitely miss working with you guys. I feel like the three of us can get some stuff done. Lieutenant Copenhaver, you were inspirational to me. I saw some of the things you had to go through, and you just carried a strong will, a strong positive mental attitude every single day. You didn't have to, but you brought that to the workplace, and I always appreciated that. You made the culture better, and whether the Navy decides to keep you or not, you're going to succeed at whatever you do. So I appreciate you, ma'am, and thank you for, just remember, I trained you taught you everything in Oceanon, so that's an inside joke. She's really an Oceanon. Finally, Senior Chief Jones. Funny thing about Senior Chief Jones, I got a story. So I just check in, right, and I'm like, man, I think I made a mistake coming here. I'm like the only brown shoe, like Chief Wade's got here now. Back in N5, I'm like, there's a lot of alpha personalities here. And I was like, man, I think I made a mistake coming here. I kind of missed the meat talk folks. I missed my comfort zone. Senior Chief Jones, at the time, Chief Jones, getting ready to deploy. He sees me at medical. He's like, how you doing? You know, are you doing all right? Oh, don't worry about them. You'll be fine. The one person that gave me a pep talk, he deploys. The next week, I fail his room inspection. I went back to that N5 shop. I thought I was going to get my ass kicked. But, Dean, the hours that we put here behind the scenes, the things that you've done, I mean, yeah, I love you, man. Finally, to Amy and Aaron, I couldn't be more proud of you guys. You guys, I'm so proud of you. Amy, what you're doing at CBS and everything, you know, the family, I mean, you're kind of the glue now. You know, after Mom left, you're kind of keeping it all together. And yeah, I love talking with you guys every day. So I'm so proud of you, and I love you. And then Aaron, man, it's been a journey too. I know I was deployed when you were born. I didn't get to see you until I came home from deployment, and you know, I'm sorry things didn't work out between you and your mom and I, but you're better off because of it. I think about you every day. I know you're going to do great things, whether you decide to go to school or go in the military. Just make sure that if you ever need anything, you call me at any time. And if you need help with anything, you reach out to the family. That's what we're here for. You don't ever feel like you're alone. All right. I think I'm ready to retire now. Thank you all. I appreciate it.
Chief Wade will now read the Chief Petty Officer Retirement Creed.
Chief Petty Officers, retired and active duty. Attention to the Chief Petty Officers Retirement Creed. you have this day experienced that which comes to all of us who serve on active duty in our Navy. I say our Navy because departure from active duty in no way terminates your relationship, regard, or obligation to the United States Navy and your fellow Chief Petty Officers. By law and tradition, U.S. Navy retirees are always on the rolls, ever ready to lend their service when the need arises. The respect that you have earned as the chief was based on the same attributes that you will now carry into retirement. You should have no regrets and should not view your retirement as the end of an era, but rather as the orders to a new and challenging assignment, to a form of independent duty. Remember well that you have been and will always be an accepted member of the most exclusive of all maritime fraternities, that of the United States Navy Chief Petty Officers. Active duty chiefs salute you. And salute. Ready? Two. Retired chiefs, welcome. And we wish you the traditional farewells, fair winds, and following seas.
In the late 1700s, the U.S. Navy set sail with new ideas, new goals, and a desire to build traditions that would stand the test of time. The U.S. Navy led the way in providing honors for crewmen. The 1800s saw enlisted men holding retirements for enlisted men for the first time. The captain would allow the jolly boat to take the retired enlisted ashore. After the Civil War, the commanding officer began to hold enlisted retirement ceremonies to show the crew that they and the Navy recognize the contributions of the enlisted crewmen. Today, our Navy has given most of the pomp and circumstance, the honors, traditions, and ceremonies back to history. Time does not give us the freedom to pay honor to one of our shipmates going ashore. Chief Justin Salem will now read the watch.
Watch. For 20 years, this sailor has stood the watch. While some of us were in our bunks at night, this sailor stood the watch. While some of us were in school learning, this shipmate stood the watch. Yes, even before some of us were born into this world, this shipmate stood the watch. In those years when the storm clouds of wars were seen brewing on the horizon of history, this shipmate stood the watch. Many times he would cast an eye ashore and see his family standing there, needing his guidance and help, needing that hand to hold during those hard times. But he still stood the watch. He stood to watch for 20 years. He stood to watch so that we, our families, and our fellow countrymen can sleep soundly in safety each and every night, knowing that a sailor stood the watch. Today, we are here to say, shipmate, the watch stands relieved. Relieved by those you have trained, guided, and led.
Lieutenant Dupuy will now present Chief Gaddy his Fleet Reserve Certificate. Fleet Reserve of the United States Navy. This is to certify that Aerographer's Mate, Chief Petty Officer, Information Warfare, Nicholas A. Gaddy, was transferred from the active duty to the Fleet Reserve of the United States Navy on the 30th day of September 2021 after 20 years of service. This certificate is awarded as a testimonial of faithful and honorable service. Signed, Patrick J. Havel, Commander, United States Navy. Side boys, post. Bosun, stand by to pipe the side. Shipmate is going ashore. Chief Gaddy will now report to Lieutenant Dupuy, requesting permission to go ashore for the last time. Sir, I did copy the request permission to go ashore. Permission granted. Bell ringer, sound 2 bells. Chief Aerographer's Mate Nicholas Gaddy, United States Navy, retired, departing. Bell ringer, sound 2 bells. Navy family retired, departing. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the retirement ceremony. On behalf of retired Chief Gaddy and the entire command, I would like to thank you for attending.
Had to warm it up.